That's one of the best practices we've had, one of the best scrimmages. And we had mistakes and things we did, but the way we competed, got down there and got physical, made plays. I saw some really good things out of the defense today, saw some really good things out of the offense today. Thought the defense made some plays, got a pick or so here and there, and the offense responded back, and those guys that did it right back and threw balls right in tight holes and kept playing. I thought the defense played well at times, and the offense got really good in third down. The goal line was a bloodbath. It was physical. It was nasty. It was the way you ought to play ball on both sides of the football. Very proud of a lot of our guys. Like I say, we're nowhere where we want to be, and I know I keep saying that, but we got a lot of growth to do. But there's a heck of a lot of potential. I'm going to tell you what, there's a heck of a lot of pride in this group. There is some guys who understand how to compete. We just got to do it a little more consistently. But I like where we're going. We're nowhere near, and we're banged and bruised. I mean, we're battered to death right now. But hope we can get through the spring game. But I'm serious. But it was a very good day, and I liked what I saw on both sides of the football. Really did.
What are the biggest things when you talk about, seeing that physicality? I know, a lot of times you got to see the film, but what do you see out there?
You could feel it, and you see the competitiveness. When somebody got whipped, he would jump back up and fight and jump back in it. And then he would whip that guy. And that guy, and the consistency, and Wilder down the goal line, just pounding the football, unblocked guys and just running in there. And then them guys on defense learned to drop their pads and tackle him lower. And just the competition. I was very proud. And we have skill, but I'm gonna tell you what, you can't have any more than you still got to be tough. You got to be able to stop the run the football, and do those things. And I was very proud of what we did today.
You say you could feel it, the pops,
the intensity, the feel, the hear, the competition. You can just feel the intensity come up, and it finally got going at the end. It wasn't where you get better and better as it went. That's what I was proud of.
At this point in spring, do things start coming into focus in terms of stuff that you were looking to see at the beginning?
Yeah, I guess I'm more looking at individuals right now than I am scheme. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to find out some guys and challenge some guys from that standpoint. But some of that stuff, but there's not a lot. There's not tons of scheme going on. It's just about execution on certain things and be consistent.
Some guys make a strong case in terms of that personnel with that.
Yeah, I think so. We'll look and see how it goes on the film. But there were some guys that really did some nice things competition-wise that I think I'm anxious to watch it. I'm anxious to watch it.
How much, when you talk about competition, how much of that can you create, or does it have to come from within?
Both. You got to create it. If they don't want to create, I'll create it. I'll create a bunch of ways. And but if you're the right guy, it comes from within. It's got to come from you. And I think you saw guys doing that today, more and more. I think you're starting to see some of those young guys grow up.
Was Timmy Jernigan out?
Yeah, he's out. He's got a high ankle. He'll be out. That's why I say we do those live drills, and you can't run the ball unless you cut and play like that. And we did today for once, and we did in practice the other day, and he got tied up in the pile. Got a high ankle sprain. Now it's nothing. It's a grade 2, which is, they'll cast him just to do it, and he'll be fine. In 3 or 4 weeks, he'll be fine. It'll be nothing. So, but that's the risk I always say you take about when you go live. You create piles, and people get hurt, and that's the tough thing. But the hard thing about it is you can't run the football unless, and on defense, when they're not cutting you, it's fun to play up front because it's hard to run the football. You can't do it. And then your backs get bad habits of making cuts, and that's what I had to see the last 3 or 4 days. We went that way, and then we'll ease it back just a little bit now.
How has Lawrence Stamper looked in those absences?
I'll tell you what, I've been playing. Now in the last 3 or 4 practices, really starting to improve. He always had, one-on-one stuff, you can see the ability. Now it's starting to apply to the scheme and what we're doing, and you're seeing his size and making some plays. And him, Derek Mitchell, Eddie Goldman, all of those guys, I'm very pleased with what some of their progress has been.
First glance at the quarterbacks now. I know it's the.
I thought Clint had a really good day. Had a chance. He missed one little touch. Made a great read on the play and just missed one. I thought he had a chance. Thought Jake made some nice things. Had a mistake early. Dropped a snap and raised up and tried to make a big play, and they picked one. And then he bounced back and made some real nice throws after that. Sean hit a couple nice throws, and then Jameis had a nice drive with the ones. Took us all the way down and got greedy on the ball. He was with the ones. Him and Clint were a good little bit. Jake some too. And got one pick, and then come right back in third down and just lit it up. Made 3 or 4 just big time throws, for what we did. So but Clint I thought was very consistent. I don't say the most consistent. I'll look at the film, but he was very consistent on things he did. We made plays around him, and I was pleased. Him and Jameis was pleased. I thought Coker made some nice progress, and Sean. I was not disappointed. And they made some mistakes. That's what I want to see how those young guys do. Sometimes when you're young, you make a mistake, boy. I'm trying to win a job, and all of a sudden you make one. They go in a shell. Them guys come right back out there.
Do you see some separation between them at this point, or is it maybe closer than it was?
No, it's close. They're all improving. I ain't trying that. We'll wait and see the film.
Is this kind of a coach's dream scenario to have this many guys that you compete for that?
Well, it is. That is, and you just got to make sure you get the right ones. That 2 of them or 1 of them or whatever step up and become the guy. It's great to have a bunch, but you got to get it to there. But I think we're getting there. I really do. I think we're getting Now, and like you say, guys that you feel comfortable putting in a game, if a guy gets hurt, the other guy can go in and do the same things and do the things you got to do. I mean, we're getting much more comfortable that way.
You mentioned the importance of
Good. It's improved every day. He's starting to see him move around. You know what I'm saying? It's healed a lot more, and he's running, moving around a lot better. And it's really helped him because his timing and things are coming back.
You mentioned the importance of having a quarterback that the other guys will respond to too. Are you able to gather anything like that from out here?
You know something? I don't see the guys in there, our guys, because there's so many experienced guys. You got those linemen, tight ends, the back. I mean, you got some guys that respond. I mean, okay, you're our guy. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. They're kind of, you know, I wanted to respond to the quarterback, but right now they ought to be making the quarterback feel comfortable with the linemen, the receivers. You know what I mean? You got all that experience around. That's one of the good things I like about this team is, you know, whoever the quarterback is, that you're going to have guys that are where they're supposed to be and should. I mean, they shouldn't make the bonehead mistakes that they made when they were young. You know what I'm saying? And they ought to be able to take care of him, and that allows you to, in your progress as a quarterback, grow. So hopefully that'll happen for them.
You kind of, I guess, sort of alluded to finding, you know, one or two or whatever. Is that something that you would wait, you know, at the end of spring practice, say, all right, maybe these are our top two guys? I mean, but
I know what you're saying.
I just mean you can't obviously get first team reps for everyone all the way through to the first game. So
no, but we will. We can't all the way till game time, till the last scrimmage in spring. If that's what it takes, we'll know when it's time. You won't. I don't ever put a timetable on those things. We'll know. You'll know when you know, because you know why? If I have to, it's like I tell you in recruiting. If you're recruiting a running back, and I have to say, well, I think he can do it, and I'm recruiting the wrong guy. And when those guys play quarterback, hopefully it'll stand out consistently who starts taking that job. It'll be obvious. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I mean, I think we're each growing. I love the competition. They're growing up, so we'll know when it's time.
Are there any guys that really jumped out at you today in the scrimmage?
I mean, there was plays everywhere. I mean, guys, you know, I say this. One thing we got to do we had a couple penalties on both sides of the ball in key situations that we've got to continue to. But they weren't unintelligent. They weren't. I'll say this. They were from over-aggression. You know what I'm saying? Which sometimes I would rather say whoa than giddy up, and I'd like to be a little smarter in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't what I would consider just bad penalties for just lack of effort or lack of not being in the right place, those kind of things. Some over-aggression on some pass plays, holding some guys, offensive line stretching, got a block and want to give an extra little tug, got to learn to let go. DB's got guys covered on third down and wanting to come through the guy instead of just, you know, break the ball up, and just things we got to teach them to play a little smarter in some situations. But if there anything as good penalties, they were more good penalties than were bad penalties, if that made any sense. That was my impression from when it happened.
Any chance that Freeman might actually play this game?
I don't know. I have to wait and see. I got to wait and see. And what's the name got dinged today too? Pender got dinged, so he had to sit out the rest over half the scrimmage. So it'll be down to maybe a one-horse race.
What was the issue?
I don't know. He's got dinged. I'll find out from Jake. They said he was out. I didn't have time to. We had practice for him.
Right.
I love him. I don't mean that as not caring, but he said we'll get with you afterwards. So.
Are you surprised at all that Jameis has been able to do this whole baseball?
No.
Because of him or because?
No, because of him, and when you're around him, you get that impression. I mean, he works at it. He works at both sports. I mean, he's not the guy who has a talent and goes back both ways. I mean, he's spending time in the film room. He's spending over at baseball, and then he goes get treatment on his arm, and then he comes back out, and you know, and he wants to do it. I mean, and it's in him, and I mean, he's doing a good job. But it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't.
Some of these backup linemen starting or on the offense?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Austin Barron getting better in there today. Love Lady going center, playing a little bit of guard and playing some center, did a nice job. We get Farron Crew back, it'd be good. I think who else am I missing? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Pettis,
Carter doing some nice things at guard. Pettis is playing tackle. We're grooming those guys. I think we'll have enough guys. His first team, and I saw Bobby get beat a couple. He got beat once today on a third down blitz. It shouldn't have been a mistake. Had an edge guy. Should have known the guy was pinching. Gets beat on a third down. But then he responded right back and played pretty well after that. You know, after he got beat, and still liking some progress. I mean, still got a ways to go. But I thought Cam got better today. He had a mistake that cost us a drive early on missed a block. Not on assignment too. It was weird. It was same thing that happened in the game last year. One of our games he didn't block out on, and he learned. He come right back and set it. And then he come back and started playing good. Josue been banged and bruised pretty good, but I thought he was solid. Trey. I see it looked like on the goal line we were running behind him a lot, seemed pretty good. Stork's a worker in there, boy. He's tough. He's a hard-nosed son of a gun. So from that standpoint, they seem to get better as it went. I mean, early they had some mistakes. The defense got them early on some things, though, too. It went back and forth. I mean, and that's what you're going to have when you got good football players on both sides. You know, so that's why you call it a rivalry. One side wins, the other side wins, and that's kind of how it went.